In the beginning, there was water, abundant, refreshing, providing everything the body needs to replenish the fluids it loses. Humans relied on it as their only beverage for millions of years. Milk was introduced with the advent of agriculture and the domestication of animals. Then came beer and wine and coffee and tea, all consumed for taste and pleasure as much as for the fluids they provide. The newcomers, sugary beverages including soda, sports drinks, and energy drinks, offer hydration but with a hefty dose of unnecessary calories that the body may have a hard time regulating. Alternatively, diet drinks offer sweetness without the calories. But does that make them a healthy choice? With so many options, it's easy to be confused about which beverages are best for our health. Follow the links below for an in-depth look at each, but if you're short on time, here's the takeaway. 1. Water is the best choice for quenching your thirst. There are many options for what to drink, but water is the best choice for most people who have access to safe drinking water. It is calorie-free and as easy to find as the nearest tap. Water helps to restore fluids lost through metabolism, breathing, sweating, and the removal of waste. It helps to keep you from overheating, lubricates the joints and tissues, maintains healthy skin, and is necessary for proper digestion. It's the perfect zero-calorie beverage for quenching thirst and rehydrating your body. How much water do I need? Water is an essential nutrient at every age, so optimal hydration is a key component for good health. Water accounts for about 60% of an adult's body weight. We drink fluids when we feel thirst, the major signal alerting us when our body runs low on water. We also customarily drink beverages with meals to help with digestion. But sometimes we drink not based on these factors but on how much we think we should be drinking. One of the most familiar sayings is to aim for 8 glasses a day, but this may not be appropriate for every person. 2. Coffee and tea, without added sweeteners, are healthy choices, too. Coffee lovers around the world who reach for their favorite morning brew probably aren't thinking about its health benefits or risks. And yet this beverage has been subject to a long history of debate. In 1991, coffee was included in a list of possible carcinogens by the World Health Organization. By 2016 it was exonerated, as research found that the beverage was not associated with an increased risk of cancer. On the contrary, there was a decreased risk of certain cancers among those who drink coffee regularly once smoking history was properly accounted for. Additional accumulating research suggests that when consumed in moderation, coffee can be considered a healthy beverage. Why then in 2018 did one U.S. state pass legislation that coffee must bear a cancer warning label? Read on to explore the complexities of coffee. 1 8-ounce cup of brewed coffee contains about 95 milligrams of caffeine. A moderate amount of coffee is generally defined as 3 to 5 cups a day, or on average 400 milligrams of caffeine, according to the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. 3. Tea. Tea is the most popular beverage in the world after water. It's a simple preparation of pouring hot water over cured leaves of the Camellia sinensis plant. The first recording of tea described it as a medicinal beverage in China in the 3rd century AD. Merchants helped its popularity to spread quickly across continents. In the early 19th century, Great Britain popularized the concept of afternoon tea, a break from one's routine in which tea is served alongside sandwiches and baked goods such as scones. The flavor of tea varies by where the tea leaves are harvested and how they are grown and processed. Black tea is the most popular worldwide, followed by green, oolong, and white tea. Herbal teas are not made from the camellia plant but from dried herbs, spices, flowers, fruit, seeds, roots, or leaves of other plants. They do not typically contain caffeine as do traditional teas. 4. Fruit juice. You've heard the nutrition prescriptions: aim for 5 a day and eat a rainbow. Few would argue that fruits and vegetables offer health benefits, including reducing the risk of some chronic diseases. But maybe you've hesitated to fill your grocery cart with colorful produce because of concerns that pop up in online articles and discussions. Here's a look at some commonly asked questions about fruits and vegetables, and what the current research says. Is fruit bad for me because it contains sugar? Sugar gets such a bad rap in the popular press that some people hesitate to eat foods that contain natural sugars, especially fruit. There's plenty of research exposing the detrimental health effects of eating too much added sugar, but less so with natural sugars. Overall, fruit intake is associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. Another confusing point is that some fruits like watermelon and grapes have a high glycemic index, a tool that measures how quickly a food increases blood sugar. But more accurate than the glycemic index is the glycemic load, which factors the amount of carbohydrate per serving of a food and to what degree it will raise a person's blood glucose level after eating it. Because watermelon and grapes are fairly low in carbohydrate, their glycemic load is low. In general, most whole, fresh or frozen fruits have a relatively low glycemic load. Furthermore, whole fruits have a built-in stoplight. They are more naturally satisfying, whereas highly processed foods with added sweeteners tend to be easy to digest and are therefore easy to overeat. Imagine how quickly one can gulp down a standard 12-ounce can of cola that contains 40 grams of processed sugar. Now think about how long it takes to chew through an apple that contains about 13 grams of natural sugar in addition to various fibers, vitamins, antioxidants, and water. The apple takes longer to eat and is more satiating, so you are less likely to reach for another. 5. Milk. Calcium is important. But milk isn't the only, or even best, source. It's not a news flash that calcium is key for healthy bones. Getting enough calcium from childhood through adulthood helps build bones up and then helps slow the loss of bone as we age. It's not clear, though, that we need as much calcium as is generally recommended, and it's also not clear that dairy products are really the best source of calcium for most people. While calcium in dairy can lower the risk of osteoporosis and colon cancer, high intake can increase the risk of prostate cancer and possibly ovarian cancer. Plus, dairy products can be high in saturated fat as well as retinol, vitamin A, which at high levels can paradoxically weaken bones. 6. Low-calorie sweeteners. Low-calorie sweeteners (LCS) are sweeteners that contain few to no calories but have a higher intensity of sweetness per gram than sweeteners with calories, like table sugar, fruit juice concentrates, and corn syrups. Other names for LCS are non-nutritive sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, sugar substitutes, and high-intensity sweeteners. LCS are found in many beverages and foods like frozen desserts, yogurt, candies, baked goods, chewing gum, breakfast cereals, gelatins, and puddings. Foods and beverages containing LCS sometimes carry the label sugar-free or diet. Some LCS can be used as general-purpose sweeteners. Because LCS are many times sweeter than table sugar, they can be used in smaller amounts to achieve the same level of sweetness as sugar. People may use LCS in place of sugar to consume fewer calories or less sugar or to better control their blood glucose if they have diabetes or prediabetes. 7. Alcohol. Throughout the 10,000 or so years that humans have been drinking fermented beverages, they've also been arguing about their merits and demerits. The debate still simmers today, with a lively back and forth over whether alcohol is good for you or bad for you. It's safe to say that alcohol is both a tonic and a poison. The difference lies mostly in the dose. Moderate drinking seems to be good for the heart and circulatory system, and probably protects against type 2 diabetes and gallstones. Heavy drinking is a major cause of preventable death in most countries. In the U.S., alcohol is implicated in about half of fatal traffic accidents. 1. Heavy drinking can damage the liver and heart, harm an unborn child, increase the chances of developing breast and some other cancers, contribute to depression and violence, and interfere with relationships. Alcohol's two-faced nature shouldn't come as a surprise. The active ingredient in alcoholic beverages, a simple molecule called ethanol, affects the body in many different ways. It directly influences the stomach, brain, heart, gallbladder, and liver. It affects levels of lipids, cholesterol and triglycerides, and insulin in the blood, as well as inflammation and coagulation. It also alters mood, concentration, and coordination. 8. Sugary drinks. Sugary drinks, also categorized as sugar-sweetened beverages or soft drinks, refer to any beverage with added sugar or other sweeteners, high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, fruit juice concentrates, and more. This includes soda, pop, cola, tonic, fruit punch, lemonade, and other aids, sweetened powdered drinks, as well as sports and energy drinks. As a category, these beverages are the single largest source of calories and added sugar in the U.S. diet. In other parts of the world, particularly developing countries, sugary drink consumption is rising dramatically due to widespread urbanization and beverage marketing. Good, non-dairy sources of calcium include collards, bok choy, fortified soy milk, baked beans, and supplements that contain both calcium and vitamin D, a better choice than taking calcium alone. Some beverages should be limited or consumed in moderation, including fruit juice, milk, and those made with low-calorie sweeteners, like diet drinks. Alcohol in moderation can be healthy for some people, but not everyone. It's generally best to avoid sugary drinks like soda, sports beverages, and energy drinks. Like, comment, share and click the notification bell. Sir Anton Channel.Info. Thanks for watching.